Well, welcome back to Tethys Aquatics. About 18 months ago I did the first video and it was just a general chat on the tank, and I thought maybe it's about time that I came back. We had a little review, see what's changed in the tank, and have a look and see how the fish are responding to the changes. Now, for those of you who've been watching these videos before, you'll instantly see that there's been a bit of a change around in the tank. Nothing too much has been added, but the raised area that used to be on the right of the tank has now been dismantled, and the old green plants that were starting to look a bit tatty. That's one thing with silk plants, the edges will fray when the fish start to nibble the algae off them. I've replaced those and put in some more silk plants. These are Hugo Kamishi plants, and I've tried to make it look autumnal. That was my goal. That's why there's no greens in the tank, or very little. And what I've done is change the mangrove roots from one side to the other. The one on the left, the greeny white one, it's actually a plastic root. That used to be in the raised area on the right, which is where initially I had it as a planted tank. But the barbs took exception to the plants, and within 24 hours everything was in my filter. So after 80 quid worth of plants, I thought silk was the way forward. So that's what we've done. We've swapped we've taken out the planted area on the right, removed all the old algae stained plants from there, and then replaced them with fresh. Moved the root to the left hand side, and the fish that used to congregate around that root are congregating around on the left hand side of the tank now. The small clown loach is living inside it, and the cherry barbs and the Odessas, which are relatively new to the tank, they tend to hang around under that root as well. Now, if we swing round, we'll see in the middle of the tank the brown root there, the branch, the old bog oak in actual fact. That was a feature of the tank on the last occasion, and all I've done is slide it through 90 degrees. So the branch that was sticking up into the middle of the tank, which actually was a nice feature to look at, has been moved. The big barbs are a bit stupid, really, to be fair. They're sensible enough that the one on the outside of each side of it will go, but the one in the middle comes to a sharp halt on the edge of it. So in hindsight, you know, this system is much better, and I think we'll stick with it for a while. We've instantly gained an extra few gallons of swimming room in the middle of the tank, and the barbs don't have a dint in the forehead anymore, which is good to see. And then, of course, as we come further round to the right, the mangrove root here, the big brown one that everybody's now standing in front of so you can't see it, that used to be in the centre of the tank, and the tank was featured towards that. Now I've moved that to the right. Again, as you probably see, there are some barbules hanging out the top. That's still a habitat for fish, and the fat boy hangs around on the underside of that now. So it's still very much part of the tank. The mango tipped pleco usually grazes on the branches there, taking the algae off. So it's providing habitat and a food environment for the fish. So I've kept it there, and by changing its orientation slightly, we've now accessed it so that even these big tin foils can swim around the back. I think one thing that doesn't come across on the video particularly well is how deep the tank is. It's 2 foot square, so there is quite a lot of depth to this. I think a lot of people looking at the video, because it's a 2D image, seem to think that it's maybe only 12 or 15 inches deep. It's actually 2 feet, so there's a significant amount of water volume in this tank. And coming back away through to this side of it, the pumps are still as they were. We're still keeping the All Ponds 2000 with a UV light in it, and that's now got half a pot of the 250 grams of Purigen. And on the right hand side under the tank we've still got the EIMS Pro 2 with the thermostatic controls inside. So that's the only thing I've got that's heating this tank. I mean, for probably 9 to 10 months of the year the thermostat's never on. The house is warm enough that the water remains around about 24 degrees. In actual fact, the biggest problem with the tank is in the summer when the tank can heat through for the ambient temperature of the room and starts to tickle about 29. And at that point we start to get problems trying to cool the water off, otherwise the fish start to gasp with the deoxygenation of the water. But on the whole, everything's pretty much as it was. You may notice as you go through the other videos that the tiger barbs are no longer with us. They've naturally demised over the course of the last 18 months. Some of them were about 4 to 5 years old, and we've now seen, or I changed them out as they passed away. Once we got down to maybe the last 1 or 2 of the tiger barbs, I decided to buy the Odessa barbs. Now instantly they've all gone into hiding, but the ones that are quite a small fish, dark on top, big red line through them, they look like they've been coloured in by a 6-year-old. These are lovely fish as they mature. Some of them are getting fairly close now, as I've had them for over a year, and they were quite a few months old when I bought them. They go quite dark blue on the top, almost sapphire blue. The red line almost becomes like a burgundy, and they really do pop when they get into breeding colours. They're a beautiful looking fish. So they're really the significant change in the tank. There's still the rainbows, still the gouramis, honey gourami. I haven't got any of the pearl gouramis anymore. The denizen barbs, or torpedo barbs as they're sometimes called, the silver looking fish with a big horizontal black line and with a red line above it, 2 yellow dots on the tail. There's still 5 of those in the tank, and they're thriving, along with the fishnet flying foxes, which one's just being assaulted by the tail of that big tinfoil barb. They're the characters of the tank, those 2 fish. Anything you put in there, they're straight on it. This tank, I tend to feed half a cucumber on a weekend. I peel it, cut it in half and use a screwcumber fitting. Again, one of the videos has been done with that on board. And that gives them all natural vegetables to munch on, and everything, including the big tinfoils, will take to that. So they get fed with that, and then through the double feeder, I've got an EIMS twin feeder, which is a very good piece of kit. If anybody's thinking about a feeder, that would be a recommendation. I'm using King British pellets through one chamber, and the second chamber I'm using a mix of the colour and vegetable Tetra Pro crisps. They tend to float on the surface, gives everybody a chance to get there before the big tin foils polish off, as the tin foils really don't like to eat off the surface. They will at a push, but prefer to be mid-water to bottom, and they in actual fact do keep the gravel fairly clean, as they have a tendency to pick up mouthfuls of gravel and filter feed it and then spit it at the glass, just to keep you on your toes. And some of the larger cobbles in the bottom there are mouth size, as I've found. So you know, it's a bit of an interest. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I intend to get back into doing some more of these, possibly do another one now on some of the plants that we now stock, as that might be a bit of an interest to you. And then we'll have another look at some foods, and for that matter anything that you guys want to have a video made of. If I've got it, I'll make it for you. So if you want to get in contact, please feel free to do so. Thank you for watching. It's over 30,000 views now on these videos, so I feel as though I'm doing something worthwhile. Thanks again. Bye now.